this is Elizabeth Claire Brewington with Brightside, Discover Brightside. And Markus, we've discovered you on this channel. He is an author and 7 Universal Principles to Experience True Fulfillment and Win at Life. So he's challenging us to play a bigger game. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so honored to have you, and tell us about your new book.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for joining us, everybody. Like she said, my name is Markus Kaulius, and I've got this little book here called Play a Bigger Game. It was my first book, and in its first week, it was in the top 40 sales as of USA Today in all of America. And I thought that was just spectacular and blew me away. But then last week, it was in the top 10. So it's really nice to see that it's getting out there into people's hands, because why I wrote it is to make impact for people. I help high achievers find success beyond their career. And I think one of the biggest problems in this world right now is lack of fulfillment. People just aren't being fulfilled. So even when they achieve what they think is their key goals, maybe they've done everything they wanted to do in business, their health is failing, or their relationships are failing, or they just don't even recognize the success they're actually experiencing and taking time to enjoy it. I come from a very poor upbringing. We were poor in every way. We were very poor financially. We were poor spiritually. And I grew up in a house where we didn't really experience love. And that was tough for me for a lot of years. And being poor, I just didn't think I had a chance to become something or to make something of myself, until I started to take control of my life. And I was 15 years old when I hit my rock bottom. And I was so fortunate to be introduced to Tony Robbins when I was 15 years old. And Tony Robbins has been a personal mentor of mine for over 30 years now. In fact, I get to travel with him, and I was part of the Platts for the last couple of years. Just exceptional experiences. But what I did with my book is I poured out all of my lessons that allowed me to become the success, the entrepreneur that I wanted to be. And if anybody doesn't really know much about my background, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've built and exited many different companies, including one of my favorite companies. I took from 0 to 170 million in worldwide sales. And I got to exit that company last year. That was very exciting. And so now I just love helping others who are on their path. One of my favorite quotes is from one of my mentors, Rory Vaden, and he says, "We're most powerfully positioned to help the person we once were." And why I love that quote so much is because we all go through challenges in our lives. And many of us, unfortunately, get so stuck in the idea that because of what I've been through, I can't become the person I want to be. When it's in fact the stuff that you went through, the challenges, the things that you think disqualify you are actually the things that qualify you most. Because there's so many other people who are going through or have gone through what you went through, but maybe didn't make it through quite as clean as you did. And so my book and my life is truly a story of, if this guy can do it, anybody can do it.
Wow, what great motivation. And he's talking about 8 figures and, big numbers. So thank you for that. So let's see if anyone has any questions for you. I'm going to take you off. Any questions for Markus?
Yes, Markus, first of all, nice to meet you. Thank you to share your power to the world, because when somebody creates something, I think there is an obligation to share abundance. It means abundance. When I speak about abundance, it means not only economic. We feel it from this other part. Your energy, your good motivation to share the message to the world. And tell me, I'm curious about your story. Tell me about how you starting the life about entrepreneur, and which kind the pain point you have where you jump in another level in your life, something where you have something hurt really your feeling or your business, and you jump a next level in business, in life, which is this point in your life?
I love this question. So thank you so much. I'm going to tell you one of my favorite stories. It's like the Markus story, and it was the turning point in my life. I was 15 years old, like I had mentioned, when I hit my rock bottom, and so at that time I was 6'4", 120 pounds. So I was a bone rack, and I was so embarrassed of how I looked. I got bullied so hard. Girls wouldn't look at me if I set myself on fire. And I believed everything that was said about me. And which is one of the most dangerous things in this world, when we allow people to speak so poorly about ourselves. And then we speak it to ourselves in our own heads, and we become that person. That becomes our identity. And the turning point for me, I was actually, at that time, by the way, my parents divorced when I was 7. And so my father was out of my life. He was gone. And my mom, God bless her, had to go back to school full time and work full time. So I was essentially parentless. So not only am I going through all this turmoil, but I didn't have any type of a support network. Now, at this time at 15, my father came back into my life for just a quick moment and said, "Hey, I'm going to Hawaii with my new family. Would you like to join us?" And I, of course. And on that plane ride, I actually felt I heard from God. And what he said was this: where you're going, no one knows who you are. No one knows that you're bullied. No one knows that you have no confidence. So what if you got to be the person you wanted to be? And this is this beautiful pivotal moment where I made the choice. I was like, you're right. I will choose to be the person I want to be, not what's said about me. And I got off that plane, and people accepted me exactly how I presented myself. I was a man with more confidence. And this is the coolest part. No matter what characteristic we talk about, you know what it looks like. Well, what would it look like to be more confident? Well, I mean, my shoulders would be a bit more back. I'll make better eye contact with you. I'll speak with a little more confidence. And what happens? You're a more confident person. And I started hanging out with all the coolest guys. I was going on dates, which blew my mind. 2 days ago, I couldn't get a girl to look at me, and look at who I became. And then I recognized, when I go home, I have to make sure now I do all the things, create all the habits, and get rid of the bad habits, so that I can continue to live this life that I want to live and become ultimately who I really wanted to become in life. And what I learned from all of that is that it's such a teachable thing. These are just decisions we make. I was not dealt a better hand than anybody else. So we all have this opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to be a better version of myself starting today. And so one of the cool things about this book is that I put in all of these different challenges that force you to put the book down and to do a little bit of work, to take some action on what you learn. This is another big problem with the society that we live in today. It's not an action society, it's a consumeristic. We consume, we watch, we're looking, we're reading, but we're not doing anything with it. And it's so important to take action, or nothing will change.
Thank you, thank you. And I would love to ask another question, if it's for you, it's okay. Which kind of practice you use like every day, to achieve, extraordinary result, and how change this practice in long the time of your life. It means when you starting, which is the difference from when you starting to now, and which kind the practice you use every day, like at what time you wake up in the morning, what you do, which kind the food you eat, everything a little bit about this, because this, I think, is a really important part to every people have a big success.
Sure, absolutely. Now, I just want to clarify. Did you say what product do I take every day?
No, it's like which kind of practice you use,
Practice.
practice, and uh, how you moving during your day, when you starting, at what time, for example, you wake up, what you do when you feel down during your day to
Sure.
retake your energy.
Wonderful. These are great questions. And I'm going to have to be brief because I think you and I could spend about 4 hours talking on this one. And
The Italian in him brings out all these questions.
I love it.
I have a story to tell you later, but go ahead. That's all right. We actually have time today because we don't have like 20, 30 people. So this is good. So go ahead.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, as opposed to just getting into what I personally do, I do, just so you know, go inside in the book. I talk about the importance of having a morning routine and different elements of anybody's morning routine, including my own, that give you the most value. So I just want to tell you about a few things. Number one, I think it's really important that we stop fighting the signals that our bodies are telling us with the foods that we put into our bodies and the exercise that we do or don't do. So when we're not eating the right foods, what happens to our body? Well, we feel lethargic. Oh, I got some indigestion. I got some gas. I'm just uncomfortable. I don't have the right energy. I don't have the right focus. So it's really important to recognize these things and go, it's really important to me to have the right foods, to have the right clarity, to have the right digestion. So I eat a very clean meal in the morning. And I get my exercise done in the morning. I too get my meditation and my prayer done in the morning because it sets me up for the day. Now, if anybody's listening going, well, I'm not a praying type guy, that's okay. I forgive you. And you can just go into gratitude and meditation. So gratitude, I think, is one of the most important things in this world that not enough people are doing. If you started off your day just 5 to 10 minutes of thinking about all the things that you're grateful for, think of what that's doing to your mind for the day. As opposed to starting off thinking about, oh man, I have to get this done. I have to get this done. Let me see what's on social media. Oh no, people are getting ahead of me. Oh, the anxiety. Oh, what's happening in the news? No. Instead, I'm starting off my day going, oh man, first, what another great day to be able to be on this planet. I have an amazing wife. I have an incredible kids. I love where I live. Thank you, Lord, for all of this. Thank you for my health. Thank you for the energy. Thank you for the people that I'm going to encounter today that I can make an impact on. You spend this time in gratitude. And hey, for those of you who are like, man, I don't know if I could go longer than 20 seconds. That's okay. It's just like working out. The first time you don't have to go get a 1-hour workout. If you do 20 seconds, excellent. Come back tomorrow and see if you can do 25 seconds. And that's just fine. But what's beautiful is you start to recognize more of the things in your life that you are grateful for. So now you've eaten well. You've started off with gratitude. For me, I get my workout in the morning. I do my cold tub in the morning. It gets me very sharp, disciplined, and focused. And then I start my day. And I just stay focused throughout the day on the things that I can control. And I don't give any attention to the things that are out of my control.
Thank you, Markus. Thank you, to share this powerful word and, continue to share with the world because we are in the place where the world needs a word like this,
Thank
you. Thank you so much. And thanks for contributing today.
Yeah, and thanks for all the questions. Okay, so Joseph Sanchez, any thoughts?
I just want to.
Because I've been having these same conversations. So Markus, you bring out some great things. So yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want to add and listening to Markus. It sounds like he basically is doing the same things I am. Described it differently, but the point I want to make is that he proves that this stuff works. Everything is between your ears, and you got to have the right attitude. I like what he said when he went to Hawaii and he just decided that he was a different person. That was between the ears. He decided. Nobody told him. Nobody gave him the power. He gave it to himself. So again, I like that, Mark. Very good. And you should be congratulated.
Yeah, all of you actually. All right. Any more questions before I bring the next speaker? And Brian, I'm going to bring you last because you're going to do a demo. So I'm going to bring this wonderful Italian up here. And let me just start.